Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Connecting Content Podcast.
We back.
I'm your host, Brian. This is also your host.
Master J, we in here. Welcome back, people.
Hello, everybody. It is good to be with y'all again for another episode. So, today we are going to be talking about the Thule Society.
Dun dun dun.
Yes, indeed. Jeremy, what are your thoughts and feelings about the Thule Society? How does that make you feel when you hear that word, Thule Society?
Oh no, I think we should start somewhere else other than that. I don't know.
Let's do that.
It don't make me feel any type of way. Just
Same.
no, it's a cool. It's just an interesting topic for me. It ties into the script you wrote for the film that we're gonna be shooting. So that's a topic we're gonna dive into today. But yeah, I don't feel any type of way. I'm not could care less about them, but I do think they played a pivotal part in history. So it'd be cool to talk about. Let's get into it.
Yes. So the Thule Society, it started around I don't know, you could say maybe the conception of the idea started around 1881 or something like that when the founder, Rudolf von Sebottendorf, basically he got his butt whipped by the Young Turks and had to flee to Germany, is my understanding. And he brought this radical ideology with him about Aryan superiority, and it was largely based off of a book. I think the book is Thule Society, The Power of the Coming Race. And in this book, they talk about a superior race that is hiding in the center of the earth. They basically fled to the center of the earth. They used to live in Hyperborea, which was a kingdom north of the ice wall.
Right.
And some cataclysmic, disaster happens. Some accounts suggest it was a flood, and that forced them to migrate south. So down south, where we, I guess, live. You could say down to, I think Germany and Europe and Asia. I don't think so much North America, but they migrated down south, and then eventually they ended up migrating further south and going into the earth. And that's where they're alleged to exist today. And that's what happens in the book. The main character goes on a journey into the earth and discovers this Thule Society.
Right. So, I thought he was with the Young Turks. I didn't know that he was fighting against them. He was fighting against them?
No, you could be right. He could have been on the side of the Young Turks. He had interests in Sufism, Theosophy, and Freemasonry.
Yeah, because Young Turks, they used to meet at the those lodges or whatever that the Masons met at. Like that's how it all they would have their meetings and stuff and plan out what they had going on. And so that's where he got a lot of his influence from, the Young Turks, and a lot of his strategies and stuff. And that's where I think that he discovered the idea of the Thule Society, and then he went back to Germany. Just popped up back in Germany. But yeah, I definitely got to look into that though. I don't know if he was actually fighting against them or with them, but I know he was going to those Masonic temples or whatever. So, and that's where the Young Turks and their leaders used to meet up at and stuff. So
okay. Well, that might be right. Maybe he was on the side of the Young Turks, and then that movement was ousted and overthrown, and he fled to Germany.
What wasn't overthrown? It was more like they pretty much destroyed the Ottoman Empire because they won the Young Turks or whatever, but they policies and things that they did, it kind of destroyed it led to the fall of the empire or whatever. So,
Mm.
but yeah, then he popped up in Germany, and that's when we get into the stories of how his influence on Hitler and all that different type of stuff. But
Yes. So that part of the story I'm a little more familiar with. But yes, so he pops up in Germany and he starts what's supposed to be a study group for Germanic antiquity,
right,
but it's really this occult society
for sure,
that believes in things like Hyperborea and like this superior Aryan race living inside the earth, and that someday they'll rise to the surface again.
right,
And that's very much at the core of what Hitler was about, purifying the earth for a pure Aryan society. We should talk about Aryan society real quick, because Aryan society does not mean blonde hair, blue eyes.
right.
It means like,
It's just a it's like a race of people, but they never specified on what those people actually look like. So maybe they turn into like mutants underground or something. But yeah, but that's what Hitler, he kind of like, with the influence that he had, taking that because basically the idea of the blonde hair, blue eye came from this lady who was like, she was supposed to be quote like psychic or whatever.
mm,
So, and she would talk to, I guess, like beings or whatever that were from the Thule, what do you call it? Like a Thor nation, like that underground magical world or whatever, where they think is outside of the ice wall. Apparently, she was communicating with them or downloading information from them. They would write her letters and stuff like that. And that's where the whole myth about the blonde hair, blue eye, like it's um, dominant species or whatever came from. But they were like, in reality, she was a fake, proven fake and fraud. She was writing herself letters and complete lunatic, basically. But they took that idea and ran with it. It spread, it grew, and it influenced like Hitler's beliefs. But if you listen to other people, they say that Hitler, he probably seen something or communicated some type of way with a species like that, because you hear about the Nordic people or whatever and stuff like that in those stories, and they are blonde hair,
right.
blue eyes and stuff like that, and you hear about like the like Hitler didn't actually die and stuff down in South
Mm-hmm.
America or wherever you want to believe, but they say that was like the gateway place, like in South
Oh,
America,
okay.
to
There were
get to,
portals there.
yeah, to get to wherever you, to that place, that magical
Yeah.
kingdom or whatever it was.
And in the book, they talk about portals in the book.
Yeah.
And in our film, there's a portal in our film
Mm.
that they're trying to get to so that they can summon, this subterranean advanced race.
Right.
So, okay, I didn't know that it was believed to be in South America, but that kind of maybe ties in and makes sense to why so many Nazis fled to South America and
Yeah.
why people believe Hitler did as well. And a lot of people believe that Hitler was a literal incarnation of God as well, an incarnation of Vishnu.
Yeah.
So,
That's
lots
that
of
running
crazy
shit.
stuff.
But yeah, that's they did believe that, but they also believe, like that portal was a gateway. They have a few of them around the world, but apparently, but supposed to be one in Antarctica or whatever, the place that we can't go, and that
Right.
actual society actually live underground there. Or if you go there, like, what was the name of that movie, man? Where they went like to the middle of the world and it was like a
Journey
rainforest, or
Journey to the Center of the Earth?
that might be
I
it.
Well, I know that that happens in King Kong films too.
Yeah, yeah.
That King Kong escaped to the center of the earth, and that's
King
where he
Kong
lives as
and
well.
Godzilla. It's a whole show now on um, Apple TV called
Yeah,
Monarchs.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's called Monarchs or whatever. But that's where they go. That's where it's like a whole world. It's like it's Earth. But it's different timelines, different like. But it's the same place. But if you go in there, like time slows down tremendously, right? So
Right.
you might be down there for 30 years, but really to you it's only like 3 months. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's how that's where Godzilla lives, that's where King Kong lives, all those other
Yeah.
those other species and stuff like that live. And through but you gotta go through a portal or
To
whatever to
get
get
there.
there. Yeah, so
Well, and that's kind of an interesting idea because if you think about time dilation and how, time slows down at higher frequencies. So the basically time dilation is the faster you move through space, the lower you move through time. That's Einstein's theory, and he proposed it when he was on a train one day and he was pulling away, or I don't know if he was literally on it, but he imagined I'm on a train and I'm driving away from a clock,
all right.
and the faster I'm moving away from the clock, the slower that clock seems to be moving.
Okay.
So if there is truth to that and truth to an inner earth kingdom where these more mystical or magical things are possible,
Mm-hmm.
at a higher frequency, at a higher rate, at a more subtle frequency, yes, some of the laws of our natural world begin to break down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of stretching there, but I don't think that I'm necessarily completely off base.
I don't know about Einstein, but the basic stuff, so
Yeah. Einstein comes up in the film too.
yeah, he was definitely right about some things. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if that's how it works or whatever, but I'll take your word for it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It
It's
sounds kind
quite
of cool.
possible, but
Yeah.
I just feel like it's been stories of different, but that's how they say that Bigfoot moved through the earth or whatever now. Like because even in that show that I'm talking about or whatever, they like they have the power to move through the portal at will, because they know how to control whatever it is you want to say, the vibrations or the frequencies that can get it
It's like a
open or
radio
whatever. So
frequency.
like,
They can tune it
yeah,
as they desire.
so like Godzilla and King Kong, they're from that world, right? So when they feel like a sense or like King Kong lives on Earth, but he can also go back down to that portal or whatever, right? So,
Yeah.
but when he's on Earth, the Titans or whatever, which is like that come up or whatever from this portal or whatever, if they get a sense that they're here, it could disrupt this timeline and this world. So that's when they come up out of the portals and they start, moving throughout of the world trying to catch these titans or whatever and stuff. So that's what they say about Bigfoot, that he has the power to. That's why no one
Mm-hmm.
can see him or whatever, or never, and no one ever gets a good glimpse. They always just get a glimpse of him, something running, something in the dark or whatever, and then it's gone. Because something that big as they say it is, to be able to move around freely,
Yeah.
and at this time you got to have some type of like, I don't know, super stealth mode or something. But
So again, he's vibrating at a higher frequency. I mean, you could almost think of ice versus water versus steam. It's more and more subtle forms, and the
yeah,
more subtle it becomes, the less visible it becomes. And that's, yeah, maybe that's an explanation for the phenomena of Bigfoot sightings and why it's hard to really get a real look at Bigfoot. But certainly that would begin to kind of bridge the gap, the logic gap between what is believed by this Thule Society and what they did and why they did it, because they really believe that this advanced race that is superior and able to tap into what they call Vril power, which is just the power all around us. It's basically like the Force. And then they can manipulate that Vril power as they will
right,
and use it to create or destroy or heal and like they
absolutely.
desire. But so this woman, she was like a prophet or like a
Um,
medium or something, and
a
she
medium,
was
yeah. She's,
allegedly doing what again?
she was she was like yeah, like a psychic or whatever. Like people can talk to the other side or whatever, or download information, from the other side. I forget the technical name for whatever they are, but she was supposedly that. So they listened to her, they follow her advice, and they built this whole society off of her information. But it was proven that she was a fraud and a lie. I forget her name, but I know she was Russian, and so um, yeah, but she was a fraud. She was writing letters to herself and stuff. So the whole society is built on multiple lies. But
Yeah.
I'm
And I just
saying,
pulled up her name, Maria Oršić.
right, yeah, yeah. But she was I don't know, a nutcase. But they followed it. They still practiced like a lot of the stuff that she talked about. So they take it to heart. You know, I guess they think the people who called her a liar, they were lying themselves just to debunk whatever she was talking about. So maybe they just, and
Yeah.
then you had like people like Hitler and his party that was founded after the Thule Society. But you know, a lot of people that
Yeah.
trained him were a part of that society, even though he technically wasn't. So
What's really interesting is that the Thule Society founded the German Workers' Party, or DAP. And one of the founding members is Karl Harrer. Forgive me, I mispronounced that. Rudolf Hess and Hans Frank, who were very high-ranking officials in the Nazi regime. But they're all founding members, and Karl Harrer is a definite verified member of the Thule Society. So Hitler comes into the German Workers' Party post World War I, and he radicalizes it. And that party morphs into or becomes the Nazi Party. And I read an acronym the other day. I'll pull it up here in a second. But basically, DAP stands for German Workers' Party, and Nazi stands for National something or another. But again, it's just a reference to the collective Workers' Party. So
yeah,
it's
the
the
DAP,
same party, just, rebranded.
yeah, like DAP is just like German for the German Workers' Party. So,
Right.
but um, yeah, that that's crazy though, cause like Hitler, I remember we were talking about this off camera, and you was telling me about how like Hitler would sit in as kind of like a spy for the German Workers' Party or whatever,
Right, by the
and
German
then
government.
yeah, so he just happened to be chosen, and then he moved up rather quickly in that thing. So, but just imagine if they sent like another agent instead of him,
Right,
how much that would alter like history. You know what I mean?
right.
But yeah, he was sent there as a spy. He loved the lingo, drank the Kool-Aid, and he got active, man. So that's crazy
It
though.
was his vehicle into power, and he rode it right to the top. And, you know, he was completely insane, obviously, but obviously very cunning and charming and charismatic and a powerful speaker, great orator. And he learned a lot of that through the Thule Society. He was groomed and brought up through the Thule Society. Full Society.
You said he was insane.
Yeah, I think he was insane
I'm
for
I'm gonna
sure.
ask this question, right?
Yeah.
Just do you think he was insane or just misguided?
I
Because
th-
he obviously
yeah.
had to be to build what he built
Yeah.
and did the things. Yeah, they were evil as fuck. Like, don't get it
Yeah.
twisted. I'm not saying like he was could have been nah. In all, by every stretch of the word, he was a piece of shit. But what I'm
Yes.
saying is, I don't think he was insane. More, it's like he just truly believed in something enough that he made it happen. Kind of like you can
Mm-hmm.
look at Nazis, you can look at Christians, you can look at Jewish people, you can look at
Yeah.
whatever the religion is or whatever the ideology is or whatever. Those are just people that believe in something so much that they're willing to fight and kill over it. All
Yeah.
those religions. So
Absolutely.
technically, it's a lot of insane people in this world
I
by that
agree.
definition. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I don't think he was insane. I think he was very smart. I think he was very he had his mind was well intact. I just think he was misled and he drank the Kool-Aid and believed something enough to where he went on and did something about it.
Yeah.
And that be the problem with a lot of things in this world. Like everybody is like in this programming in some type of way based off our upbringing in the region that we're in. So I feel like a lot of people could have been Hitler, you know what I mean? And Like a lot of people are Christians and a lot of people are Muslims and a lot of people are like different
Yeah.
religions and stuff like that. So I don't think he was crazy. I think he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because even if you do believe something to do the things that you've done, like even when you look at like Christians like of the past who went around the world to force Christianity on a lot of nations and
Yeah.
stuff, they were
Spanish Inquisition.
barbarians. You know what I
They
mean?
were
They murdered
terrible.
and killed and Muslim same way. Like
Yep.
so,
Every religious movement gets
every
co-opted by
religion was built on blood.
yeah.
So it's like I look at the Nazis like any other. I just think they just happen to be pieces. Like back in the day, it was a lot of Christians who were pieces of shit. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
look at countries like right now we're in the middle of the World Cup. You look at a lot of these countries like Belgium and like England and Spain and stuff who have these histories or whatever of absolute bloodshed. You know what I mean? Like Belgium, what King is it Leopold the second or something like that?
I just watched
What
a
he did
documentary
to
on
the
George
Congo?
the Eighth. That
Who?
guy was insane. George
He
the
was
Eighth.
yep.
That guy
I
killed
know that
two
one
of his
too, but
wives. That guy was awful.
like they talk about Hitler and all of them shits, but who was also a Christian. So, but you look at Belgium, what they did to the Congo, what he did,
That's
he
evil.
trumped Hitler by like times 2, 3, like
Yeah.
insane shit. But
Right.
we don't even talk about that type of stuff. I went on a little rant, on a little tangent, but yeah, that
No.
just brought me to that. You know what I mean? Like, is he crazy or is he
Yeah.
just like any other religious nut?
Well, that's a good question. And I think that he is crazy. And I would say, for my definition of sanity, he's insane. Because I think my definition of sanity is what is sane is what is closest to the truth. And if you look at the way nature operates, it operates mostly in accord with each other. There's a balance. There is, harmony. Things function according to their dharma or according to their purpose.
Okay.
But what you see with people like Hitler and the leaders of the Crusades and the leaders of jihads and
Right.
people who commit violence and death and bring that to the world, that's not nature's natural way. Eventually death does happen to plants and animals and humans, but it happens in a natural way. And what these people are bringing to the world, the fruit of their actions, is out of accord with what is really meant to be, how we're really supposed to exist. And I think the proof of that is existence in itself. Existence in itself does not behave this way.
Right.
And if we compare it to something very big like nature or the cosmos, we can see the cosmos doesn't behave this way. Nature doesn't behave this way largely. It's brutal in a lot of ways, but it behaves in a way that is in the interest of balance and harmony.
Balance
over
and harmony
time.
comes with good and evil though too. So
Yeah, but it is of a certain accord, and it is not like you're never going to see like an apple tree attack an orange tree, or you're never going to see like a
but you might
maybe.
if they grow next to each other.
Yeah, they might.
The
Eating, maybe
DNAs might
sleeping, defending.
intertwine, or
Yeah.
one might take over, or some type of way. This might kill this one because it's getting more nutrients and stronger, and it's absorbing that tree's nutrients. So it's like,
But even then, they act in a way that is good for their own survival. Whereas you can see with these leaders like Hitler and a lot of these, politicians, they act in ways that are completely self-detrimental. So I would say that is insanity, and I don't believe that, they get away with it. Nobody gets away with it. I think that when you bring that much, you reap what you sow. And when you bring that much death and chaos to the world, you're also going to experience it. And by all accounts, Hitler was a deeply, deeply troubled person. He was not a happy, blissful person at all.
I believe everybody's deeply, deeply troubled, but in types of ways. But going back to what you were saying about like, they're if it's in nature, they're doing something in the way to preserve their way of life or whatever, preserve
Yeah.
like them. I feel like that's the same thing that Hitler was doing. If you look at the ideology of it, what they were trying to do was eradicate a certain species of human, or that he felt was detrimental to the overall of his well-being and his people's well-being. You look at Nazis and stuff like that. What is their fundamental? Like, they are trying to preserve their race and their species. That's what they talk about. Because as we know, as the rate the world is going, the majority of the world is going to be very melanated. So where it's mixed up or whatnot. So a lot of, like, you look at racism, it's not necessarily racism, it's more, well, yeah, it's
Tribalism.
racism. Yeah. But yeah,
Fear.
it's them trying to preserve whatever. When you look at Indians, they prefer for their kids to marry other Indians, Chinese, same thing. Like the white species or the Aryan race, they want their species to marry with them so they can continue, having that. So it's like when you look at these, the core, it always comes back down to that it might be a crazy belief, but they really believe that they're just preserving them and their way of life and it's something that looks like them for years to come. You know what I mean?
Maybe insane isn't quite the right way to put it. Maybe it's better to put it they're acting animalistic. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending.
Absolutely.
They're not acting divine. They're not acting divine or at a higher consciousness, at a higher frequency. And they stay bound and trapped in that realm that they create for themselves with war and death and, racism and sexism and all kinds of isms and hatred towards each other, because they're not really understanding the higher concepts or lessons. And largely religions nowadays are so cheating and so bad. And you can see everything by the fruit of what it produces. You see the fruit of what largely, not all, but a large number of religions produce, and it's not good fruit. Although I know people within every major religion that are wonderful people, and they're very open-minded, and you can tell they have a higher kind of sense of consciousness. You can tell if you put them in a room with somebody from a different religion, over time, they're not going to war and kill each other. Over time, they're going to respectfully coexist together. But that's kind of few and far between, I think, nowadays. So maybe, again, insane, not the best way to put it, but certainly animalistic.
For sure, animalistic.
Eating, mating, defending.
I don't really think it's nothing wrong with religion. I just think it's the leaders of those religions. So it comes down to individuals.
Yeah.
If you don't vet and put the right people in place of power, it's always going to be corrupt. Like, it always starts from the top down. When you look at your country, the way it's ran, when you look at your church that you go to, how it's ran, what is the pastor doing, like how does that funnel down to his or her congregation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How is it? It always says when you look at a company like Apple, when you look at a company, any huge company or a society or religious thing, it always gonna start from the top down. So when you got greedy people at the top, and that's all, but that can only be changed from the masses of people, like demanding better and actually holding those people accountable. Because why would they stop doing it if you're not gonna hold them accountable? So it's like, if we could get the right people in places of power, because we're going to always have people who are going to be in power. And it's a certain, because you got to run a whole society, and as people that all throughout your societies, you need like some type of rules and one common society like outlines.
Sure.
To way to that we should live and help each other or whatever, and not do certain things, because there are nutsos out here, head cases for sure. So I think as a people, we have to figure out a way how we can get the right people in places of power, and we won't have the warring and the killing. Because back then it was religion; they were letting it was all going through kings and queens and emperors and it go through nobility, and a lot of them were over time became diluted crazy people, lots of inbreed and stuff like that. So it's like you got a bunch of crazy people at the top sending people out in the name of a religion to murder and kill, and it just keeps going down throughout history. After 100, 200 years, you're going to have just a corrupt entity. Like, so I don't necessarily believe it's the religion itself. It still goes back to the individuals at the top.
Absolutely. I think it's all about the individual and the individual at the top, the individual that's following. But at a certain point, you have to wake up and you have to say, okay, what is the actual results of this? How is this actually affecting me? How is this actually affecting the people around me? Are they growing? Are they getting better? Because everybody talks a game. Every politician talks a game, whether that politician is in business, in religion, or literally in politics. They all talk a good game. But you have to slow down and examine, okay, what is actually happening here?
Mm-hmm.
And when the fruit is so gross, eventually, like this is the kind of the result of the Nazi Party. The fruit was so gross, eventually you couldn't deny that this man, this Hitler, this leader, you can't deny that he's a bad guy, that he's an evil dude. Like, you can't bring that much death and destruction to the world. And it collapsed. So I think that, there is something a little bit insane about creating something that is doomed to fail. And there does seem to be this inevitable cycle that if you don't bring something beneficial to the world around you, eventually you're going to collapse, either internally because, you're just going to, I don't know, you're just going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to feel guilty. You're not going to sleep at night. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. And that's going to lead to a disaster on the dance floor of life.
But how
Jeremy?
do you know? I don't get when people say that, though. It's like you're going to feel yeah, you would. I would. A lot of people would. But there are some people that sleep just fine at night doing horrible, fucked up things. So it's
For
like,
a while.
I believe karma is more like manifestation. But I also believe the universe always going to balance itself out.
Right.
So it's like, whether if we go around and if we keep putting crazy people at the top or people who get delusional and use their power for abuse and stuff like that, then the universe is going to balance everything out and just wipe us out and then just come on. But that's not necessarily karma, because even innocent people are going to get messed up. That's more the universe is saying, okay, we just got to shake this out and start over.
Well, I think that karma is beyond our limited understanding of what we think is right or wrong or fair. But if we can think about it just as cause and effect, then the cause was that it got out of balance, and the effect was that everything got wiped out because of it.
Sure.
And I don't think that I think that we're eternal. I think that we're eternal spiritual beings. And when this body goes, the soul, the real soul, continues on. And I think what's fair in all this is that it continues on at the level of understanding and consciousness that it's developed itself to. So if you're in the mode of goodness, when you leave this body, you'll find yourself in the mode of goodness, in a place of goodness in your next life. Passion, you probably find yourself back here on the earthly planets, or ignorance down in the heavenly planets, and that's described in Bhagavad Gita. And there's other sources of ancient wisdom traditions that also understand this concept. And it's even in Christianity, in the sense that, hey, if you're a good person overall, you'll go to heaven, but if you're a bad person, you'll go to hell. I know it's kind of simplifying it, but so yeah, it's not fair, but maybe it's fair because even though you might get caught up in this bigger cosmic wave of karma, when you leave this body, you'll get your individual place.
I don't think of life on those terms. I don't think of it as a way as I'm going somewhere, or I got to do this or be this type of person so I get to this place in the end, or my next life is better or something like that. I don't believe in, I'm not a religious person. I have my own beliefs. I pray or talk to the universe or whatever, like, all the time on a daily basis. So it's like, I was raised in the church, so some of those morals and beliefs stuck with me, even though I'm not a religious person or I don't go to church and that type of deal. But I also don't believe, like, what you said sounds good, and that could very well be true, just like a Muslim, his theories might be true, or Christians might be true. I think of it like that. I don't think any of us know it. I just know while I'm here, I would like to live in a safe society, in a safe place. I feel like I
Same.
should help my neighbor, not because I want to go somewhere, just because if they're moving into their house and they're struggling with a box, I'm just going to help them because I feel like I would want someone to help me. You know what I mean? To help my
Right.
daughter or help my mom or something if she was old and we wasn't around to pack her groceries inside or go grocery shopping for her or something like that. So I just think on those terms. I just think we should be good people because it's just like, what kind of world do you want to live in? You just want to, right now the world seems off balance and messed up because everybody as individuals is looking out for themselves,
Right.
whether it's their race or their country or their family or whatever, it's tied to their, yours,
Yeah.
individuals. So once we break out of that mind state of trying to crabs in a barrel type on a global, in a global way, whether it's United States versus Russia, whether it's a lie and it's some type of it's a secret society running, a shadow government running,
Yeah.
whatever the case might be, all that's get canceled out if us as individuals take
Yeah.
accountability and like actually help each other and just be
Yeah.
kind people, bro. Like it's it don't. I look at assholes all the time, and like I don't like bullies. That's one thing I do not like. Do not be a bully around me,
Same.
or we're gonna have a problem. Like seriously, I don't even
Same.
like with my daughters because she's bigger than most of the kids.
Yeah.
Tries to be a bully.
Yeah.
I don't. I hate it like with a
Yeah.
passion, bro. Because it's like why. You know what I mean? Like just because
Yeah.
you can don't mean you should. You know,
Right.
so I just feel like people, individuals need to take accountability of their life and their surroundings. If we do that, take care of our
Yeah.
neighborhood, take care of, you know what I mean, maybe even the next street over, help them out or something. Y'all do food drives together for the community or back to school drives for the kids in each individual neighborhood. We don't need the government and all that other shit, bro. We just could live on this world peacefully and to the best of each individual person's means. Like you don't need to be jealous and shit. If you know it's a billionaire over here, but he's helping such and such people because he can, he probably wouldn't be as many billionaires. The world would be more balanced, would be more even because you're not thinking about you and yours or your ideas and your agendas or your whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, yeah, you can have goals, chase what you need to chase to get to where you want to go. Just don't be an asshole along the way. It's just that simple, man.
Yeah.
And I think in the end, whatever it's supposed to be will be. So if you're going to heaven or whatever, or this other life, or you can rest assured you're going to go to whichever place you think
That
is the
is for
best.
sure.
So, and if I can't get to that place by being this kind of person, then fuck it, bro. I don't.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm going into the
Uh,
black hole or abyss or whatever it is, but I
nah,
can
you're
live with
not going into
myself
that.
though.
Yeah. That's cool. I agree that it is, the golden rule, treat others as you'd like to be treated, not the other golden rule, those who have the gold make the rules. But we're living in that second version of it right now.
Mm,
And hopefully, yeah, we break out of that crab in a barrel mentality and we
yeah,
can live by the real golden rule, which is to treat others as you would like to be treated and pursue your own things along the way, but just be mindful of others in the process of doing that. But jumping back into the Thule Society
yeah, we
and
definitely want
Hitler, because that was a fun
to.
side road. And it was definitely inspired by kind of the evil that you see in these large militant, attempts to take over the world.
Right.
But eventually, they come to an end. And eventually, hopefully, the next generation does a little better and understands and learns from the mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what happens in our movie. The next generation does not learn from their mistakes in our reimagined second coming of the Thule Society, which is trying to grasp power again. But they're doing so in a different way this time. Now they are trying to do it in a more subtle way and more of a kind of a marketing campaign, and they abduct your character, Jeremy's character, Chris. Not abduct, they draw him in.
Right.
And over time, the idea is that they want to psychologically break him down. It's like any initiation process. You know, you have to psychologically condition the person so that they will accept the ideology. So that's what happens in our film. You will be changed. But what's cool about our film is that it's kind of, you know, it's a little bit what we're talking about, you know, how there is goodness in the world and the individual is responsible. And if the individual takes responsibility, they actually can make a change in a localized sense. And that's what happens with your character. And the love story between him and Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And
We're going to get popping on screen, baby.
it's going to be cool. We haven't cast Joe yet.
Huh?
We haven't cast Joe yet. Who would you like to play Joe? If you could cast anybody in the world.
If I could cast anybody,
You can cast
in the world,
anybody in the
oh
world.
my
Who do you want to
God,
play,
hold
Joe?
on, bro. See, that's a big responsibility right there.
Gal
But there is
Gadot.
one person that's had my heart since I was a kid, bro, and
Oh.
she still look bad enough to be, you know what I mean, a leading lady in this. And
Oprah.
God, shit, no, bro, we wildin'. All respect though.
All
you
respect.
know, but
Love you, Oprah.
no, what's the girl from Scary Movie, the old one?
Scary movie.
God damn. What is her
Are you
name,
talking about
bro? It's gonna
the
drive me crazy, bro. Hold on, man.
Scary movie the lead actress?
She was one of them, yeah.
The funny
Who?
gal? The really funny lady? She's kind of...
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Who?
No kidding.
Hold on, which one you talking about, bro?
Okay, I mean, she's not a bad-looking person. I just...
Who are you talking about?
Hold on. I'm going to pull up a picture of her. Scary movie lead actress.
Let me get to
Bear with us real quick, and then I'll hold it up for the camera.
Bro, I can't remember.
Camera.
Regina Hall. That's her name. That's my
I thought you were talking about Anna Faris.
Who?
Anna Faris.
That is the wrong camera, bro.
That is the wrong... Oh, shoot. I got the wrong one. Anyways, Anna Faris. Look her up. My
yeah.
bad.
No.
Regina Hall?
No. Definitely not. Regina Hall, my black queen. Yeah.
Let's check her out.
She forever. She forever goated.
Hall.
Still to this day.
Oh, Regina Hall. Okay.
Absolutely. That's been my baby since I was a young grasshopper out here, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
but-
maybe we can get Regina Hall.
Shit,
It's a
bro.
good enough script, bro.
Hey,
I don't
if
doubt
we
we
do
could.
that, the prayers have
Yeah.
been answered for sure.
No, I don't necessarily doubt we could get somebody on that level. The script is good enough. It's a very good script, and we have good filmmakers on it. And we're starting to build the momentum too. We're gonna buzz with this film, and I think it's going to be something that people are gonna really like. This film. It's entertaining. It's not
It's relevant.
pretentious. It's
relevant.
very relevant.
That's what I like about it the most.
Yeah.
That it's a storyline that I'm actually reading up on today. You know, so got a little aliens, ancient societies. Got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It got the love romance. It got heartbreak in it. It got some scary moments. It'll take you on an emotional roller coaster, and that's what we want in a film. But it's also original script too, wrote by my boy Brian here, man. So yeah, shouts out to him, But I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be real exciting. We're gonna have a lot of fun shooting this. So
Yeah.
man, that's Regina Hall. If you out there, man, if this happened to come across your feed, I don't know if it will, but if it do, listen, I'm talking to you. Hey, let's do this.
We will spend 90% of our budget to get Regina Hall.
Shit, I throw in a little extra too for you.
There you go.
I got about $400 I could put
Yeah.
on it. I got about $400 somewhere, but I'll scrape up the change though, Regina.
I
Lord
think
have
the script
mercy.
is strong enough on its own that I think that actors will want to be involved. I'm going to play the antagonist. You're going to play the protagonist. But we have some other really great roles in there too. And I think it's strong enough on its own. And we have Joe Barraris, a local filmmaker, is going to co-direct with me. We have we're hopefully going to get a really great cinematographer. If she's not available, we will get a great cinematographer,
Hey,
but it's going to be a good team of filmmakers on
yeah,
this
for
one.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be. Yeah, I haven't met him yet, but I'm looking forward to it. You told me a lot of great things about him, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, Joe's really
But yeah,
cool. He's kind of he spent a lot of time on Robert Rodriguez films, and I think I've even heard himself refer to himself as like a Robert Rodriguez disciple in a sense because he
okay.
spent so much time on his films, knows him a bit. And this will be his. He's made 3 films. This will be his. Oh, he's made 3 features independently. I don't know how many features outside of the ones he directed he's been on, and I think he's co-directed before as well.
Mm.
But it'll be great to have him helping us out. And then my wife Zoe, she's gonna act as she's not gonna act in it, but she's gonna be our scripty. She'll be our script supervisor on the day, making sure that we're in the right wardrobe and continuity, and making sure we're getting our lines down and everything like that. So it's going to be a bit of a family affair and
Keep the
some
money in the
very
family, huh?
yes, and that's kind of brings us to our next episode, which is how do we make. We're wrapping up this one, but our next episode is going to be how do we actually monetize, make money on these films so we can keep making them.
In 2026, how
Yeah.
do we
Mhm.
how do we make the money as an indie filmmaker? So yeah, that's gonna be stream sorrow type of thing. But yeah, we'll dive into that on the next episode. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this one up.
Yep.
Movie coming soon, man, and well, we start shooting soon. Also, Black Cowboy is coming out soon. That's a documentary that I wrote, produced, shot everything on it. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. And I had a lot of fun shooting that. But yeah, also ccontent.com, ccontentworld.com. Go on
Letter
there.
C.
Y'all can look at all of our content, upcoming dates on things that we got coming out and dropping articles about, film industry and other things that we talk about on the podcast. But yeah, we got
Dog walkers. We've got the Interracial Dog Walking Company.
dog
We
walkers.
just finished that pilot. That's going to
Absolutely.
be so
And
funny.
also, by dog walkers, we are going to be looking for people to help film that and shoot that as well. We already started on it on our own, so, but we are going to be trying to find people along the way to want to join the team, and help shoot to be a part of something that we think is going to be pretty dope and entertaining.
Hilarious.
It's going to be our own first scripted little thing. We're going to start off with shorts and stuff, but hopefully it grows into something a little bigger because I think it's a dope idea. But yeah, man. Throw it on that 2 screen so we can get ready to sign out this thing, man.
All right, everybody. Thanks for checking us out. This episode was meant to be more about the Thule Society and the rise of Hitler and the German Workers' Party transforming into the Nazi Party and how it ties into our film,
Right.
which we kind of covered, but then we got off into some other kind of philosophical
We
topics, which
dove.
was fun.
Hey, but that's what we all about, man. It's about, we start somewhere, but as long as it got some information in it, some
Yeah.
entertainment value, and it relates, which it did. So I think it was a good episode.
Connecting content. We're living up to our name.
All types of content, man. We trying to build it out. We want y'all to join the family, man. Send in your skits and your clips, man. Maybe we could show them on the podcast or do
That'd be cool.
voiceovers and stuff. Oh, send us your aliens. If you seen some aliens or you seen UFOs or something like that, send them in, man. Because that's the stuff I really want to review. I want to see what y'all seeing out there. What type of stuff is out there in this world, man. Because I know it's some wild stuff. Send it in. ccontentworld.com. Send it in to us or hit up us up on our social medias. Connecting content everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Yep.
We out here.
Yep. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one. Bye.
We out.